I am totally muted. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding live stream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw, but you may know me as @Shashaw.
Yeah, and I'm your host, David Khourshid, also known as @DavidKPiano.
Together, we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions.
Yeah, and so we are going to be creating a voting-themed animation scratch from live using HTML and CSS. I don't think we're going to be using any JavaScript for that one. Doesn't really have my votes anyway.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna eke by with some CSS.
Yeah. In a very precarious decision, we are happy to answer any questions you may have in the chat. So please reach out in the chat or comments, but please be civil. Of course.
Yes. It's a rough time right now, but we wanted to encourage our US animigos to get out there and let their voice be heard if they haven't already participated in early voting, which I hope you have. But we have this lovely vote animation by Adam Dixon. It doesn't show up properly on Dribbble for whatever reason. I've had trouble with it coming up. So I've got it pulled up in GIF Scrubber here so we can actually watch it. So we've got these lovely lines, this kind of radial lines, and then this nice abstract American flag here, which is, it's just lovely to see.
Yeah. And I feel we're going to make the lines a little bit thicker just so that you all could see.
Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit more weight to everything, just so it feels a little more substantial, in my opinion. No shade to Adam Dixon, but so we're just gonna get right into it here.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's see. Div id equals there you go. Dot vote, and then let's do dot box.
Let's get that color. I want to get that specific red color. Actually, Dribbble should tell me that, but
I noticed that that handy little palette deal down here.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's like here's like 20 shades of blue, none of which are actually being used in this, and no red.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the red and I'm going to put it right in Css variables, and I'm just going to call it color-red, and that's E316.
Nice.
Well, 30016. I guess 316 is a bit misleading. And we have a color blue, which is that 1524F2 if you speak hex. If you speak HSL, then that's going to be, I don't know,
difficult,
different.
And then, color white, of course.
You forgot a few Fs.
Yeah, sure.
F for respect.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot happening in this animation, but the initial part, we've got the box, and then we have these kind of radial lines. So I'm gonna set another variable for line width, and we can do just something like 1em for now, and adjust that as needed. So down here.
Yeah, that's a nice big number. Or actually, 1 isn't very big, but 1em is big.
Yes. Solid var line width, and then var color white. And it's silly to do a CSS variable for the white, but in case we want to adjust that later to be more of like an off-white or something like that, it's always nice to have that option. That's what
I'm also going to give the vote an outline of pixel solid purple, just so we could see what we're working with. Purple is actually probably a terrible color. It's too like goldenrod. Is that a color?
Yes. Goldenrod. Yeah. Why is it not showing? I guess it's being eaten by the. Yeah. It was probably being eaten by the border, or just too close to it.
It was touching that a bit. Now, Here's something interesting that I noticed, and the answer is probably no here, but we have the box, just looking at the original animation, and we have these 5 stripes, and it really looks like that box is being floated to the left. And I'm like, can we use floats for the first time in 5 or so years?
Floated to the left, like after the check.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. I just want an excuse to use float again.
You know, it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how we should approach the sizing to everything so that it's easy to get it centered without doing like a whole flip thing with like, you know, CSS variable calculations and all that. Like if we can just if we can basically make the box and the lines off to the side the same size, like the same width, I think that would be ideal. And let's just use grid, you know, and use grid gap to space out the lines there.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do display grid. Okay, you've got stripe. How many stripes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this abstract.
So we're going to have
columns.
2 columns.
Just 2 columns.
It's going to be, let's just say 2FR, 3FR for a total of 5FR. I'm just doing some mental division here. And grid template rows repeats 5 because we have 5 stripes, and that's going to be 1FR. And so FR stands for something. Blah blah blah. It's basically going to make
fractional
them all the same. Yeah, fractional something or other. And so
and for our box, we'll do grid row 1, 2. Is that right, or is it 1-3?
It's going to be 3 in this case. Yeah, there we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we missing a stripe?
Maybe
we probably need so I'm going to give stripe, and then I'm going to add a dash. You know what, let's just do M child.
I see what's happening. So no, we have enough stripes. It's just the 4th stripe and the 5th stripe are only in the column there. 1-3, is it 1-4 maybe?
2.
I think that's right. Okay, yeah, there we go. Hold on. So this would be
I'm going one by one.
last child. Isn't that a thing?
It is. So yeah, you're basically counting the other way around. So not from the first one, but from the last one. But yeah, I was trying to get those 3 in alignment.
Nth last child 1, and then nth last child 2. Do grid column 1, -1. It should span there, and hey, check that out.
There we go. That works.
And why is our we've got box sizing border box on everything? So why is the border kind of overflowing there? Is it
Oh, and for each of the stripes, I'm also going to say align self end. Oops. Okay, so we have to actually tweak that. So end child 3 is going to be align self end. Is that
well? So we want to ensure that the box is just kind of aligned properly here. We want the lines to all be the same, like aligned the same, so that the bottom ones down here are aligned. We just want to fix it so that the box itself, like the border, I think it's just like a box sizing kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So how big are we making the stripes? We're making the stripes line width, height of line width.
Right.
Explain that.
What?
Right, so I got an idea. We're going to do that and have a grid gap of, I don't know, bigger.
Yeah.
And then our box could be that 1, 3, which it should be.
It needs to be 1, 4, because it's the line after the third row, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. No. Okay. So we have to adjust the box heights.
Right. So let's see. Let's say
this is requiring a little bit of math.
Actually, if we just take that off, and we can
just give it a width.
Well,
Close
maybe. Hold on. I think we just want a width on vote itself. So let's say width.
15, 20,
15 m,
something like that. Yeah.
It's 15. Nope. 20. 40.
Bigger. 25.
Oh my.
Or sorry, 35. Yeah.
Yeah, 35.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. All right. So now our box is a box, and
everything's aligned perfectly.
Yeah, getting that box centered will be an issue, but okay, let's.
It'll be a little bit tricky, but we'll futz around with it.
So let's say, so for the stripes, they all just do an animation in. That's easy enough. We can tackle that later when we get to more of the coordination kind of stuff. Let's see.
Yeah, and so inside the box, we also have a bunch of lines. I'm counting right now.
It should be
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. No.
Well, no, it's more than that because
6, 7.
It's double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side, technically.
So just 7 lines.
Well, no, because look just a couple frames in, and the way that they're like collapsing in, they all have to be individual lines.
No, it's going through the thing. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's
7.
7.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
7, and then they all do their whole little thing.
Yeah, so we're gonna need some CSS variables here.
Yeah, we are. Each one of those is going to rotate to 0. That's the goal, at least for the first part of the animation. So that's all going to be inside the box. Let's see. All right, we have the box, and we have the line, and each of the lines, I'm just going to say width 100%, height spare. Line width, oddly enough. We should call that line size, but
yeah, I'll rename it.
And background, their color white. In case you forgot what the color white is. All right, so hopefully we should have some lines. Yep, they are all over the place.
Yeah, they're filling it up. That's great.
Yeah. So to get all of them on top of each other, there's a few different strategies we could do. We could do the grid area 1-1 technique, or we could just position absolute them. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. They're all going around the center. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, yeah, so now we could transform them freely. You already have some CSS variables in there, so we could just apply that directly to the rotate and see what happens. So I, which is the index again, that's going to be 1 through 7. And got to do a little bit of math here because some of them are going to be rotated a negative amount and some of them are going to be rotated positive.
So we want to do 1 turn divided by var total.
Semicolon.
Yeah, hold on. Just moving your cursor out of the way so I can see. Okay, times range, something like that. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, so now we know that this box has to be... I'm hesitant to make it overflow hidden just because, you know, we're going to have that check mark later. So, alternative, we could make a just real quick a dot lines container, and we could do overflow hidden for just the lines container. And then, so I'm going to move this all over here. So dot lines, and then, wow. What do I think I'm doing? Sass or stylus? I need brackets. Okay, here we go. Position at absolute, top 0, left 0. Just have that on muscle memory. Okay, so we have our lines. This should be overflow hidden. And now we can make each of our lines just big.
Yeah.
Now there's a mathematical thing for this, but let's just make it big. Doesn't really matter.
Well, it does with the
hold on. We could do, yeah, we could do some calc.
Just -10%.
I want to do math.
No math. Very little math.
Make it 130 and then 15.
Yeah. All right.
We could put this in CSS variables and you know, just get proper, like, yeah, we'll just say half of the overshoots. There we go. And of course we can represent that, like I said, in CSS variables, but we don't really need to right now.
All right. So, okay. And let's go ahead and do the div class equals check mark. And you want to just do some pseudos for that, you're saying?
Honestly, yeah. Pseudos are going to be, you know, probably easiest. We have a before and an after, and each of those are going to have content,
display,
whatever.
Grid area.
Yeah. So let's see, these are going to have, well, all right, let's see, the check mark is going to be, yeah, it's already full height, full width, all that good stuff, right?
It should be.
All right, so we don't need to worry about that. Color red. Now, one bad habit I have is I always do background instead of background color. That shouldn't really matter much, but, you know.
One bad habit?
Yeah, it's an okay bad habit to have.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I've got height and to width at least 100% that, and just let's see where we are. We do need to add display block.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so we see our check mark. It's not at the top. I'm going to move this over down there. Just because our check mark should be bright and center. Cool, and now we could, you know, we could arrange these however we want, really. Position absolute them. You know, top 0. Left 0. I always like having top 0 and left 0 as a good default, and then, you know, just figuring it out from there. So now we're adding some transforms to get that check mark in the right place. Now, funny enough, I don't know any ballots that really does check marks. It's all fill this ridiculously small elliptical thing perfectly with a black pen, or black or blue pen. And I always get nervous because when I fill it in, there's like one spot that's like a tiny bit, you know, not filled in. Yeah. And I worry about the edges. I was one of those kids who didn't really know how to color within the lines. So, yeah. Let's just say I hope my vote gets counted, you know.
As do I. We're both in very important areas for...
We are, yes. Florida is a swing state, and Texas is a swing state as well.
Bottom left and bottom right. So let's see. You've got them positioned top left 0. Yeah.
Yeah, and we could change that. So what we could do is one of them could go on the bottom. No. Basically, put them both at a corner, do them 90 degrees, and then rotate the entire check mark. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a better approach.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah,
and then we could change the transform origin and all that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, before. Okay, so that's fine. And then for this one, we want transform 90 degrees.
There we go.
90
and then
degrees like this. There we go. And then
yeah, so then up here we could
45.
Yeah, 45, but also we want to translate a few other things, right? Translate Y, no. X, 50%, see where that takes us.
Yeah, we need to, let's see, 45. Nope.
Oh, so close. Transform origin. Is that the top left or somewhere else?
That's pretty close. Let's see. -45 is not it. -90 is not going to be it. 125. Okay. Oh boy.
This is starting to look like that Game of Life thing, just rotating out into the distance.
Okay. Yeah, so these are positioned top left. Okay, there you go. That's helpful.
It is. So if we take transforms out, which that does nothing. That's the current state of things. So we have to turn 180 to the left. So let's do this. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that. If you press Option or whatever it is on Windows, it just increments the degrees.
Yeah.
That's cool, but that's something that I don't want at all. But it's cool. So negative.
Yeah, I think depending on your keyboard shortcut settings, it'll give you the right thing. So
right, this should probably be center. Let's make this center.
Yeah.
Just to make things easier. Okay, starting over, if we have no transform, this is what we have.
Yes. All right. And so
we should
add that transform. Let's take off the translate for now. So we really want
135.
Yeah, 135.
Or 18,350 degrees works too. I mean.
Okay, that is correct.
It's promising. Translate Y.
Well,
50%.
Yeah.
That should probably be
do that.
here.
Yeah, do that before.
Yep. Order of. There we go. We have a check.
Yes. Checkish.
Check it out.
Okay.
And we should make the purple one probably bigger.
Right. So down here, width 140%, something like that. Hey, that looks great. Yeah.
Cool.
So let's do. And why don't we just go ahead and 10% to 50%, -10%. Just getting it a little more. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so we can take off purple. Take off that, I guess, for now. Oh, no, we need that. Okay. All right.
And now we're ready to start animating.
Yes. All right. So we have all of our basic pieces. There's probably some tweaks we'll need to make to those in the layout along the way. But first things first. So let's set up all of our animation down here. We'll group all the animation code together. So we know we need to animate box. We know we need to animate check mark. We know we need to animate the
lines.
Lines. Let's see. So we put the box in the right place first. We animate the lines. Then we animate the check mark. Then we animate the stripes and the box. Okay. Right.
All right. So I'm sort of choreographing here. We have our initial state is the lines spread out. Then the lines come in. So rotate to 0 while zooming out. And then the lines shrink. And that happens after the zoom out. So lines shrink. And then check mark. So you have the short side and then the long side just being drawn. So like you're physically making a check mark on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then it translates. So translates to top left. And then finally, the stripes extend. So we have 6 steps in this animation right here. And so the way we're going to do this, like we've done in previous keyframer episodes, is we're going to be basically using coordinated keyframe animations. I'm thinking we could separate this into, since it's 6, we could do like a 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Yeah. And that's all we'll need to do. So like keyframes, blah, we have from. And so this is going to be our initial state. And then we have 20%, 40%, 60, 2. So as long as all of our, animations match that, then I think we'll be good.
Yeah, that should do it.
So here's our template. We could copy paste this.
Let's see.
So which one do you want to do?
I'll
do the box zoom for now, just to get us started.
Yes.
So
it's not target.
It goes from like transform, scale, I don't know, 2, 3.
Gotta sneeze. Hold on. No.
No worries.
All right. So the box scale to. Let's give. Oh yeah, you're giving everything the same animation.
Yep.
That's great.
So animation duration, let's make it 5 seconds. Fill mode, both. I think that'll be good. We could figure out the easing later.
Duration 5 seconds. All right.
And then from 60 to 80%, yeah, that's where it's transformed. We have a translate. We're going to go negative 100%, negative 100%. Okay, try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
Yeah, so we probably want the translate here though, in the.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just have it be in the middle. So this is going to be, that's going to happen before the scale, so we don't mess up our calculations. Translate, and that's going to be, I'm estimating just 100%, 100%. We could obviously tweak that, but so over here, this is going to only be transforming the scale. So we want to keep that
right.
transform the same.
Okay. and then at 40% to 100%, we'll do late transform none.
Yeah, we could just do none, and then yeah. So that should be closer to 50%, but
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do for the lines now. We've got animation name, line rotate, and so for this we'll do. Actually, this will just be all the line stuff. So we'll do 0%, 20% is what transform rotate, and then at 40% we want transform scale 0.
that's more centered. I mean, again, it's not going to be perfect, but yeah. Also, it's going up. So just going through the animation again, it seems like as the box moves, it's also the lines coming through. But I think, I don't know, the lines are a little sluggish. Yeah, we could tweak that later.
Yeah, I mean, it ends with the lines rotating. Let's see. Here's 7. I'm going to add my replay code.
Oh, good. So we are having a little bit of a JavaScript.
Yes, and
just a little bit.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the stripe animation at keyframes. And then we'll do 0%, 60%. Transform scale x0. Percent.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do the check mark one. So keyframes, check mark, I guess.
Okay, that must be 80%. I'll correct the form origin for those.
So copying and pasting are from 2040, 60, 82. See, that's why it's good to have like an outline of how your animation is going to go, so you could just copy and paste those keyframes and just know that you're doing everything in the right spot. I really wish CSS had more advanced grouped animation capabilities.
Yeah.
Like green sock, but non-JavaScript. I mean,
yeah,
green sock's cool and all, but
so I can actually add a little bit of a set in the stripes. Or maybe it's the box that needs to move sooner, but hard to say. Okay, so you're doing check mark first. All right, so all that before animation name is first. Yeah. There. Mark second. That'll be a little tricky to coordinate.
It's not doing it for me.
Oh, check mark. Sorry, I did check box mark.
Mark.
There we go.
Many things. Okay, so that works. Now I just need to do the other one.
Yep.
And also, I did something sneaky. might have seen. So one obvious issue that might come up with the second check mark. So let's do from 40 and then 62, and that might be
we
wrong.
have to include the rotation in there.
Exactly. So here's what I did. I added a CSS variable for that.
Did you? Okay.
Oh my gosh. See? And so that T, and we can name that something better, but basically it's whatever the original transform is. And so that prevents us from having issues where animations can take over transforms and sort of untransform them.
Yeah, that is a super helpful trick. You can really put so much in CSS variables. It doesn't have to be just like a number or a unit. Like it, you can put an entire like background declaration or whatever. Jason Lingstorff and Lynn and Tonic. I forget her real last name. She
they were just known by their Twitter handles.
It's so hard to connect the real names and the handles. But they did some great CSS art on Learn with Jason, and with that, like it's single div kind of CSS art, and so there's so many like background declarations to draw everything out. So one thing I did, I took some of the stuff that they did and like shoved them in CSS variables, and it just makes everything so much more parsable. But you can have like all the background declarations like position and size and all that in one CSS variable for each little element, and then that makes it really easy to coordinate everything.
Yeah. All right, so just playing around with the timing here.
Yeah, it feels like our box movement needs to happen a little sooner. 70%.
Yeah, and so that's why, like, typically when starting animations, we have that rough, we know that there's 6 distinct parts of the animation. So we have that, that's why we have that 20, 40, 60, 82. But those aren't hard measures. You could tweak around that. And so that's what I did. Like I added 10%, took away 10%, but things are still going to coordinate with each other because, we're using the same duration and we're still subdividing the same.
That's right.
And so now that check is a little bit snappier. As Shaw said, the box probably needs to move sooner.
Yeah, I tweaked that a little bit now. So that's happening. But the stripes need to start coming in a little sooner now.
Yeah.
So I bumped those up. Nice. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. By there, you mean almost there.
Yeah.
Like we're pretty close already. Like so this is what happens. The tricky ones always end up taking no time at all. And ones where we're like, yeah, we could knock that out in 15 minutes. Those take the longest. You can't explain that.
Let's see. Let's make that a little harder. Get those movements to be a lot
snappier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sort of want the box to move like right when the check mark's done.
Yeah.
So probably 70%. So just, or actually no, that's just gonna make it faster. It's not gonna make it go any a different time.
Right.
Cool. And so the box starts moving at 50% to 80%, and each of the stripes starts scaling at 70%. So I'm wondering if we tweak that, make that like 60%. Let's see what happens. Nope.
Maybe 65.
Well, no, it's a little weird because it overlaps the
Right.
what was it, 70%?
70 is what I had, yeah.
So 65. Let's try
Let's
65.
So much of CSS is just playing around with the numbers
Mm-hmm.
till it looks right. Yeah, it needs to be.
So 60 is too overlappy and you don't want that. So I think 65 is our safe number over there.
Yeah, and we could start the box moving a little bit sooner, like 45%. So that it starts moving like right as the check mark completes. And then maybe make it land a little bit sooner too.
Yeah. In the original animation, that check mark is decisive. Like
yeah,
so many early voters this election just
yeah, we can speed it up a little bit. So 40%, like make that 35, and then for this, like 45.
Well, so yeah, from its starts.
5 and 3 should be right. Yeah. How's that feel?
Yeah, that looks great.
Okay.
Should we add like a
So
go vote message to the bottom?
let's see. 2, 6, 7. Yeah, I just can't. The lines, the like radial lines don't feel right to me. But you know, that's something we can play around with a little bit. We don't have to spend a bunch of time on it, but
right.
Let's see.
On size, like 15 BW. Oh gosh, too big.
Here, I'll get a font in here. Just pull this Google font in. Here, where did you add it in?
Vote after. Although for early voting, it should be vote before. But, it's too late for that, so, you know.
Yeah, so we'll do 6. Well, it just needs grid column.
Oh, okay. You got it. So 1, -1.
Yeah. Nope.
So I have text align justify, which is that even right? It's been such a long time since text justify properties. So you could just say text justify and see what happens there.
Really? I don't think it'll work that way because it's just one line. Justify, yeah, only works when there's actual line breaks in there, oddly enough.
Okay, and so I'm thinking this go vote message could appear like not immediately.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I need a little more modern font. Yeah, you work on the animation for it. Let's see, I'll add a thing down at the bottom. Vote after animation name after. All right, so around line 180. Let's see.
How do you do knockout text again? Like, let's say I wanted something to animate. Is it just I don't know.
It's weird. Let's see. It's
Like if I wanted the text to have a funky background.
So
background clip, right?
Yes, background clip is what you want.
There we go. Thank you, CSS Tricks. So let's say my background is red. Let's see what happens there. That did nothing. Yeah, why didn't that do anything? Looking at some examples. All right, so background clip. Do I need WebKit background clip? Probably do.
Yes, I believe so.
In this age?
Yep.
Thanks, coronavirus.
I don't think that's the that's the cause. Red. Why is it just a red stripe there?
I don't know, but I wanted the background to be, yeah. Just have a cool.
Oh, let's see. You're doing background clip and background red. I mean, you could just do color red.
Well, so I wanted it to be striped, and I don't know. I wanted to make it fancy.
Okay, background clip. Where?
Actually, add splitting in there. Just yeah.
No, so background clip text, but you just have a red background. But where is that? Where's the stripe actually coming from?
I do not know. That is a mystery.
And then background size.
Or you could do like container. I don't know. I just don't know why it's yeah. Not doing what I want to do.
Line, transform. It's all fine. No wrap. It's fine. Okay, font size. Okay, let's get that back in. Round.
Okay, let's copy and paste our choreography.
Yeah, I added some bits for that down there.
Nice, yeah. All right, so I'm thinking 80% too. It's just gonna be.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Background clip. King. Background. Oh, background. I think we're gonna have to make it a ground image gradient. Do you ever remember linear gradient?
Nope, not the least.
To bottom. Okay.
Cool. I dig that.
Percent. I gotta wait the whole animation to see it. Let me do something real quick. Enable that. I've disabled your animation just because I need to see the background clip. Just
okay.
Background image.
By the way, to those of you who streamed in, thank you so much.
Yes.
And let us know if you live in the States, if you're voting tomorrow, if you're not.
Hopefully you've already voted.
If you don't live in the States, I'm sure it's going to be exciting anyway.
Let's see, background size. First value is width. Okay, that's right. Oh, is it color? Is that it?
Are you doing the background knockout stuff?
Yeah. So
there we go.
Do WebKit.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I had in mind with that, but yeah.
Text. Let's see, WebKit text fill color. That's what it is. WebKit text fill color transparent. And for this, we'll do our color white at 51%. Then that will, there we go. Ground size, 100%, 100%. There we go. Got a little two-tone effect happening. Take that off. Wait. 100. Okay. Yeah. It's working.
You dig it?
All right. Yeah, the lines aren't perfect with like the way they work in the animation itself. I think there's just like an alternating happening. But
it's all good.
But yeah, I'm fine with it. All right.
All right. Yeah, it's looking good.
It is.
I made GoVote bigger.
A little too big for my screen.
Oh. Well, all right. So how are we sizing the vote thing? Oh, we're sizing it by ends. Okay.
Yeah. So set the M's on the parent there.
Okay. So the font size here should be like
2M.
2M. Sure. See how that looks. It's tiny. Maybe twice as big. Yep, it's big enough. There we go.
Oh.
That is huge. All right.
Okay, 2V man. There we go. Yeah. Now we've got
cool.
Got it scaling, so that's good. All right, take off that, and let's. Hi, thanks for tuning in from the UK.
Is this responsive? That's a good question.
Now it is.
Yes, it is. I was going to say, yes, it's responsive to any desktop computer. No, it is responsive.
Yeah, so I've got it, sized by vmin, and we're using M units throughout for the sizing, and that's the reason why I often recommend using M's, because it's just like this nice little compact unit that you can set the font size in one place, and now it applies everywhere. So that's super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anything to really break down from this one? It's a lot of techniques we've used before.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think yeah, a lot of old techniques. The one thing that I pointed out before is preserving transforms. So we have that ~T on line, whatever that is, 113, and also at 117. And so that's going to make sure that when we do our animation, we're not ruining the original transform of the elements.
Yes. Yeah, we can do a quick breakdown on that. So those of you watching live, thanks so much for being with us and watching this process. Those of you watching the full video, this is awesome. We appreciate you all. We're gonna do some just a quick summary of basically that one technique. And everything else we've done before in a lot of different videos that you can check out on our channel, youtube.com/keyframers. So like and subscribe that. But yeah, let me give myself a little marker here, and then we can do our little intro and move on to it. All right, so here we go. Stay with us. Hola, amigos. Welcome to Keyframers. I'm Stephen Shaw.
And I'm David Khourshid.
Let's take a quick look at a technique from this Go Vote animation that David and I have put together. We've got a lot of different elements to animate here, and we're coordinating those all together by using our full keyframes. We've kind of got a template here of the steps of each of those. But one of the things we like to do is make animations as reusable as possible or as global as possible, and the check mark is a good example of that. Break that down for us a bit, David.
All right. Well, I actually broke it, period.
Oh, no.
No, I fixed it. All right. So what's going on is that we have a check mark, which this is sort of interesting because it's doubly transformed. We have the check mark container that's rotated so that we could give that its distinct 45-degree tilt. And also we have two pseudo elements inside where we are transforming those in order to give the check mark its check mark shape. So what we also have to do is we have to scale each segment of that check mark. And so that might be easy enough. You might say, okay, we just set a transform origin to the center left or center right or wherever you want to scale from, and scale that from 0 to 1. So the problem with that, in doing that in keyframe animations, is that that is going to override the original transform on the element. And so in order to avoid doing that, what I'm doing up here is I am setting double-dash transform to the transform of each one of those segments. The first one, we actually don't have to transform it, but the second one, that's where it is important to transform it, and we want to have it at 90 degrees. So again, this is a transform just for appearance, not for animation, but for appearance. So now when we actually do the animation in keyframes checkmark second, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be applying that transform, and we're going to be applying it both to the before and after, or not the before and after, but the from and to animation. So that way, this transform, again, is rotated 90 degrees. And over here, it's also rotated 90 degrees. That way, if we need to change it in the future, or maybe we want to remove it or do something else, that animation isn't going to change. And so this becomes a scalable, flexible animation. And yeah, so use CSS variables to your advantage when preserving transforms. Otherwise, you're going to be having to do a lot of crazy math.
Yes, and in this instance, for checkmark first and checkmark second, we could have used the same keyframes for both in like an animation delay, but we're trying to use the actual like keyframe percentage as like the trigger point, so that's why we have two separate animations there. But we can actually use the same values there, because for the first checkmark, it's just the transform is just rotate 0 degrees. And it's going to end on that as well. So those can be identical there, and that can help you, in coordinating it so that you're just worrying about the percentage value. And we kind of use that approach, like making the animations reusable with like the lines. So these lines that rotate in, we just have one animation for all of those lines. And so all of those lines starting out are rotated based on their CSS variable, and then our actual line animation is just to rotate 0 degrees. And so they rotate and flatten out, and then the scale triggers there, and that way it's just one animation that you have to worry about for all of the lines, and everything else is set either in properties on the element itself, so like the transform rotate here that it starts out at, or set it in a CSS variable that you use in the actual keyframe animation. Those are some really great ways to make your CSS animations powerful and reusable across multiple elements. So use CSS variables, and that'll help you out a lot. So you can watch the full process of creating this animation for a deeper dive into each technique. We've got the full live stream linked below. And this show is supported by our sponsors, CodePen at codepin.io, CSS Tricks at css-tricks.com, and viewers like you. You can pledge at patreon.com/keyframers and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Got plenty of links down below for you to check out. And please go vote. All of you, yes. US and amigos, we really need you to do that. Let your voice be heard. So, yes. Yeah. Any parting words of wisdom, David?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Go vote.
Please. So thank you all so much for watching. That's all we have for you now. Until next time, adios, amigos.
Adios.